Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Thursday, February 20th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduced to number 4 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. The spirit guidance, we're jumping right into it, and it is the Panther energy in the reversal position. With the Panther energy in the reversal position, what I'm picking up just by even looking at the charts is something about the importance of not overreacting today. It feels like when it comes to today's energy, there's a few reasons where we could find ourselves overreacting and jumping to a conclusion when we should have took some time to look at all of the information present. Or I think of a situation where we gave something the benefit of the doubt for whatever reason. We assume that you give something the benefit of the doubt, and then you're figuring out that something is left undone, or something is like, when it comes to today's energy, I feel like there's major challenges when it comes to communication. There's something about communication. And when I look at, say, the chart looks a little bit like there's a lot going on, and there's a lot going on between the areas of how we're seen, our goals, ambition, and our schedule. So I think of a situation where a person, it might be a misunderstanding at work, or even in your everyday life. The thought that comes to mind is, say, you and a coworker, or an example might be you and a coworker decide to switch shifts or something to that. And they didn't show up for the shift, but you're on record and you're supposed to be there, and they're not there, or they're late, or something happens, and it's like you catch the challenges, the issues with it, because your name was on there, or something to that. And say in another situation, it could just be today's energy would kind of remind me of like a Mercury retrograde type of vibe, where there's something with communication. When I look at the chart, there's a T-square happening between Pisces energy, Moon in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Gemini. And with that T-square energy happening, there's some kind of a challenge between what we're saying, how we feel on the inside, and how we're seen. So whenever we hold back whatever it is that we have to say out of fear of what other people are gonna think, and when I say what we gotta say, I feel like there's always a way how to communicate, express yourself, and say what needs to be said, and be upfront. But yeah, when it comes to today's energy, there's definitely something around communication, something about how we're feeling on the inside and what's coming out of our mouth, and some kind of a conflict or a challenge when it comes to that. Or like I said earlier, it's something about filling in the blanks or giving someone the benefit of the doubt. Like I think of, like, say, being in the salon and seeing situations where maybe a stylist might tell their client that you can pay later. And for whatever reason, the client felt like they already paid a certain amount in cash, and there's a misunderstanding. Something about a misunderstanding when it comes to communication, a misunderstanding when it comes to communication. Even when it comes to talking about it, I find myself feeling not confused, but what this would remind me of, this entanglement of energy that I'm seeing when it comes to today, it reminds me of back in the day. I have a brother who's a Gemini, and that brother, Geminis have been very have been an important factor for me when it comes to communication and even being here on YouTube in front of you guys, because Gemini's always played a role in supporting and guiding me to this path. And I have a Gemini brother, and I remember when we were younger how he would get me looped up in these word salads, and I didn't even know what was happening. I just know I would find myself angry and then all of a sudden getting aggressive because we're having a conversation, and we could start out by we may start out the conversation and I'm saying the sky is blue and he's saying the sky is red. And as we're, rumbling, rolling down the hill in the conversation, he might realize in the back and forth that I'm right in what I'm saying, and he'll find some way to twist his position and made it seem like he's been, we're both saying the same thing and we've both been saying the same thing all along. And no, we're not. And no, we haven't been. But by the end, I would feel like, I would feel robbed. I would feel like something was just taken from me. I'm not sure what was taken from me, but I would just feel like, like my mind would feel twisted. I would feel robbed. And through Gemini's, I learned to communicate in a way where I'm able to take myself away. And that's the thing, the beauty about life, where the Creator put different people in our lives for different reasons. And if we're locked in, everybody is our trainer, everybody is our coach, everybody is preparing us to be the best version of ourselves that we could possibly be. Because with those conversations, and it wasn't just my brother, it was later on, coming across paths with another Gemini who helped me get my channel started, teaching me how to edit at the time on my computer, helped me with the intro in the beginning of the video. But it was through conversations with them that I learned to communicate in a way where I take myself from we're talking, and I'm able to take myself from the conversation and observe it from a bird's eye view and pretty much communicate in a way where there's no room for misunderstanding. There's no room to put me in a headlock, like verbal headlock, like lock me into a headlock. And, I'll feel like the cartoons where they got the stars going around the top of their head because, I'm jumping in and this is my point, and all of a sudden they got me feeling confused or lost or whatever. And to me, that's just the art of Mercury, the art of communication, the art of information. That's why Mercury is, of all the gods, the one that can travel everywhere, freely, where Mercury could go down to the underworld, the mind. It could go to the worst, nastiest places, think the worst possible things, to the point that a person could take their lives based on what is going on in their head and not even so much in their reality. And then the mind could go to the most beautiful, heavenly, enchanting places. And, Mercury is powerful energy, and Gemini's taught me how to communicate in a way that is strategic and clear, but at the same time, spot BS when it's in front of me, because I know what it feels like. And, through the years, I've learned whenever I'm having a conversation with someone and I find myself just confused, it's because there's manipulation happening. They're trying to manipulate me. They're speaking in circles. They're not being direct. And, those conversations has helped me to lock in and focus. Where before, I would be the type where I'm speaking about this and I'm jumping over there and I'm jumping over here. And because of the jumping around, I'll even lose my place. I'll lose my way and even confuse myself. Where through the years, I learned to let's stay focused on this. And then when we get past this, we move on to the next. Let's not bring anything else in until we get past this point right here. So something about communication and focusing on one thing at a time before moving on to the next, because you could mess around and find yourself multitasking. And in the process of multitasking, before you know it, it's just chaos. It's a mess. It's a bunch of undone things left around you. And it's a lot. And also too, when it comes to today's energy, The energies in the day adding up and reducing to the number 4 vibration. The number 4 energy deals with security and stability. So we'll find ourselves feeling inferior, feeling anxiety, frustrated, annoyed around areas within our lives where the foundation isn't secure. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy, it might be hard to see where the foundation isn't secure for the simple fact that there's something very unclear about the communication. And with say the day being the 20th, we could find ourselves being too emotional about certain things, and so emotional that we don't get to the point of a thing, because instead feelings are distracting us from the point. Whether it's, I think of like having an important conversation with someone and they start crying, and because they start crying, you have to stop speaking about what you're speaking about because what you're saying is hurting them so bad. And that could be a form of manipulation. I feel like most of the time it is. It's like emotionally blackmailing to a certain extent, where a person uses their emotions or uses emotions as a way to control you. And whenever you find yourself tiptoeing around certain people because of their feelings, more than likely they got you. And when it comes to today's energy, I look at the chart, and when I look at the chart, say on the ascendant, it's Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Gemini. So there's big emphasis on information, and that's squaring Mercury and Pisces. And with Mercury and Pisces, a lot of the times we tend to want to go off into our imagination dream world. And when I look at, say, how Mercury in Pisces is positively aspecting Mars in Cancer in retrograde, a big part of this, the challenges in today, might be the fact that we want to skip steps because we don't feel the energy to do anything, or some of us don't feel the energy to do anything, feeling maybe a little bit lazy or skipping steps, I would say. And in the process of skipping steps, there's error, there's issues, there's challenges. So with the Panther coming out in the reversal position, it brings me to the thought of not taking something personal, and instead taking a step back and looking at the whole situation from a bird's eye view to figure out where you went wrong or where things went wrong. I think of certain situations where we might feel like someone intentionally tried to slight us, and that wasn't the case. We ourselves may have not been paying attention. Something about not paying attention, something about giving the benefit of the doubt in some cases. Let's pause for a bit. I am proud of the services that I offer and excited to tell you about them. If it would be your first time booking with me, then I recommend the natal chart and numerology awareness coaching session. For a while, that was the only service I offered, along with the 30 minutes tarot reading, which is still available if you're interested. I noticed a pattern. At the end of the natal chart and numerology coaching sessions, some of you would ask me for a follow-up service options for additional clarity and guidance to assist you with whatever you're going through at the moment. I kept saying, I'll look into it. I don't know why it took me so long. Finally, I have created that option along with the service option to book a solar return chart reading for those of you who are strategic and like to plan ahead. Everything you need to know is within the description box below. Let's get back into the video. And when it comes to the tarot, we have the 7 of Pentacles energy in the reversal position. And with the 7 of Pentacles energy in the reversal position, so first of all, in the upright position, the 7 of Pentacles would bring me to investing. It would bring, investing when you look at the card, because the person has a certain amount of pentacles and they're putting some away they're putting some away for another time. They're putting some away to grow. And with it coming out in the reversal position, it would bring me to a lack of organization when it comes to either managing our resources, managing our funds, managing our time, managing our energy. So when it comes to today's energy, it could be that some of us find ourselves irritated and frustrated because something around our money and the distribution of our money. And it comes down to, I think of when we don't have proper systems in line to organize our lives. And when there's not a proper system in line to organize your life, things could be so unclear. An example of that is, I think of at the end of the month, someone looking at how much money they made, how much they worked all month, and can't account for where any of the money went. And I feel like that's because there's a improper system in a line where, say, if a person was clear every month that this is how much money it takes to, cover my living expenses and food. So this is my living expenses and food, and their paycheck comes and, they know how much is for living expenses and food. At the end of the month, they could say, okay, this was living expenses and food. This was the check. What happened to the extra so-and-so that's missing? And if a person's clear and have a system of, of their, say, living expenses, food, and emergency, then they could even do things by saying, okay, I spend this much on food every month, but I really don't have to. I can cut back a little to save here or there, to put some away over here or there, not forever, but just for a little bit, to start growing some extras. And later I'll be able to reap the reward of the sacrifices that I'm making now. When it comes to today's energy, I get a lack of preparation and organization. And because of a lack of preparation and organization, there's a chaotic situation happening. And it's a feeling of how comes I didn't see this? How did I miss this? And I feel like when it comes to energies like this, days like this, it's just an opportunity to tighten up. That's it. It's an opportunity to tighten up. So when it comes to today's energy, the question is, where is my foundation weak? And wherever your foundation is weak, there is an opportunity to tighten up. It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a green heart in the comment box below. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.